And a jolly good afternoon to you from a slightly crisp but sunny and autumnal Vilnius in Lithuania. And this is going to be the start of a 3-day trip. I'm going to do some side videos alongside this one. This will just be my thoughts and discoveries that I make here in Vilnius. Never been here before. Sometimes I go back to places I've been to before and try to look at them from a different angle, but this is my first trip here, so thoroughly looking forward to it. Just arrived on time with Wizz Air from Luton, and didn't have to wait too long for just a local bus. Why can't everywhere just have local buses and not airport expresses and all this kind of thing, charging you 10 times the price? Rant over. It cost 90 cents, euro cents, 75 pence, or approximately $1 US, for a single journey, which took about 25 minutes. Seems to be quite a regular service. I was only stood there for 5 minutes, but looking at the screen for the various buses, dependent on, of course, where you want to go to in the city centre. This one has brought me to the main railway station, which is that fine building right in front of me. Anyway, I'm just going to go and try and find where my accommodation is now, and then I've got an hour or so to wait before I can probably go into it, and then I'll carry on from there. Oh, and I've got trolley buses. I do like a trolley bus. Well, of course, we are quite north in Europe here, and to the east. A few days ago I was in the south or southeast part of Europe, in Albania, which was glorious shorts and t-shirt weather. Here, although it's a beautiful day, the sun is out and it's not particularly cold, but you can feel that autumnal coolness hitting the air, and the beginnings of that long cold winter that they get up in these parts. But I believe it's going to be quite nice today, possibly a little bit overcast and rainy tomorrow. So bear in mind it's October. It's not as mild as it might be in the UK, and certainly a lot cooler than the southern parts of Europe. So bring some coats and jumpers and things, but it's not a bad day. So that's the accommodation found. It's in a kind of a residential area halfway between the main station and the old town of Vilnius. I've got here slightly too early to check in, so I'm just going to pop into the city centre, Old Town, grab a bite to eat. Yeah, as I say, grab a bite to eat, and head back there kind of as soon as I can, really. So once I get the text message with the code to let me in, which should be in the next hour or so, I shall do it. Sometimes one of the downsides of renting accommodation as well is if you're leaving late on your last day, you can't, generally speaking, leave your luggage anywhere like you would be able to in a hotel. So bear that one in mind. But I normally try and get transportation which suits checking out at before lunchtime and getting to the next place just after it. I might just go in there, actually. It's an interesting place. Looks like some sort of market. Absolutely no idea what it actually is. Let's go and have a look. Might have somewhere to eat in there. Right, no need to head to the old town just now. She'll do that later. This is going to keep me occupied for an hour or so. The smells in here are fantastic, actually, and I've just noticed it's not open on Monday or Tuesday, which I think it's Wednesday to Sunday, today being Sunday. So I'm just going to take my chance to look around it right now, and I'll be back in Vilnius briefly on Friday, so I might get another chance. But the smells of the food and what have you in here are really good. It's a mixture of pickled stuff. It's kind of a farmer's market, really. Through there's your fresh meat and so on. There looks to be a few cafes and stuff around the outside. Like wax and jam, and hello, like wax and jam, actually a place to go to. beeswax. Did I say jam? I mean honey. Wax, beeswax and honey. Reminds me of a smaller version of the central market in Riga, which I might be looking round at in the next day or two. I am going to Riga soon. The bar appears to be closed. I don't know if that's a Sunday thing. Well, the one here appears to be open, so who knows. Plenty of people sat down having their lunch. Not quite ready for a full meal yet, but I might find something to have a nice little snack. Bit of a foodie place. A lot of people in having their Sunday lunch here, and I just had a lovely well, what should I describe it as? I don't know what the Lithuanian is, but bratwurst with bread and spicy garlic mayo and some pickles with it, of course. That helps to cut through the kind of greasiness of the sausage, so that's always nice. And yeah, what a great place. Pick up some nice food to take home with you and have a snack and a drink while you're here. Quite a lot in here. It's not crowded though, not like it would be if this was London. Smokehouse there, so it's actually shut tomorrow, so I'm glad I managed to find my way in here today, but open again on Tuesday. I'll still be around, so I think that might be lunch sorted out on Tuesday. With the other sort of market just attached to it as well, you know, clothes and that kind of thing. I'll have a quick walk around there in a moment, but usually nothing much in there to interest me. I'm more interested in the food, eating it or looking at it and smelling it. Well, what a great place to spend an hour or so having a bit of a snack and something to drink and just chilling out until it's time to go into my accommodation, which I'm going to do any minute now, which is just up the road here. Once I've settled in there, I'm going to go for a little initial walk around Vilnius, see what I think of it. My initial thoughts on the place are it's not too busy, quite nice, people are friendly, everyone seems to speak English no problem, and why wouldn't they, eh? Because everyone that comes here that isn't Lithuanian probably does not speak Lithuanian. Anyway, all that aside, I'm going to head off now, have a little rest for a bit, head off out. See you in a minute. Right, that's a little pit stop over and done with. Well, I'm absolutely blown away by the accommodation, I have to say. Old Town Apartments, I think it's called. I will put a link to it in the notes section, but what a fantastic accommodation at a great price as well. Absolutely quirky. You know, sometimes you go into an apartment, they're a bit kind of same old thing, but this is totally different, and what a place indeed. And I don't normally do accommodation videos because again, they're a bit boring, to be fair, aren't they? And you know, unless you're going to go to some sort of really high-end hotel, 5-star plus type place, it's not really worth it. You know, the majority of accommodation in hotels and so on you book are pretty run-of-the-mill, but that place is fantastic. I'm just not going to do the video yet, if I even do it at all, because obviously I'll spend a couple of days there and see how it all works out. But first impressions are very, very good. There's my favourite market already. Should be closing soon, I think, as well. I think it said 4 o'clock on a Sunday. I might have got that wrong, but anyway, it's going to take just a little stroll now into the old town. I'm not going to do too much tonight. just have a little look around, pop to the supermarket, get a few provisions as you do, and see what's what. So what can I tell you about Lithuania so far that I've, or Vilnius really, that I've managed to glean? And transportation's great. Unless you know you're going to be doing lots and lots and lots of trips, just tap and go with your credit card or debit card. Around the city it appears to be 90 cents a pop, dependent on wherever you go, including the airport. So that's always a bonus, not getting ripped off for a trip to an airport. Just because it's an airport. So that's probably what I'm going to do, because I don't envisage doing too many journeys. It certainly seems to be a extremely walkable city. So I'm just going to tap and go if I even need a transport at all. But I am prone to just going on random transport rides here and there just to see what I see. But in the short term, I'm just going to be having a little look at this fine city. One thing I did note was a fairly good train service here in Lithuania that spans across the country. Quite modern and relatively inexpensive. I was toying with the idea of going to Kaunas, but not really got the time on this particular occasion, but I'm sure I'll find time some other occasion to go there. I'm going to stick to Vilnius, and potentially tomorrow I might take a little ride out to the geographical centre of Europe, which is a sort of a disputed location in any case, because it rather depends on what you define as the various borders. Do you include the French islands in the Caribbean and places like that, or not include those, and so on and so forth? But the general consensus is the dead centre of Europe is here in Lithuania, about 30 kilometres from Vilnius. So I might make the effort and go for a little bus ride out there tomorrow just to go and see it. There is a monument there, obviously, not just an empty field. Also, I keep forgetting it's Sunday today, and it may explain why it's so extremely quiet. I know London wouldn't be this quiet on a Sunday. London's never quiet, but many places are. People stay indoors, stay at home, family time and so on. So I'm thinking tomorrow it'll be somewhat busier. Be interesting to see all the same. And hopefully things like supermarkets are open today. I don't really know, to be honest. Certainly plenty of bars open. That's not really going to get me coffee and one or two other provisions for tomorrow, I'm afraid. Some cobbled streets as well. Here we go. This is what we like. There's a Rimi Express there. Rimi are big, like a supermarket change here in the Baltic region, probably Scandinavia too. That appears to be closed. Oh no, people are going in. Right, let's get in there. There's not much I need, so the fact it's an express, I might come across a full service supermarket at some point, but this is going to have to do. It's open until quite late, so I'm not going to bother now. Pop in there on the way back. No point lugging around stuff for the sake of it. Nice kind of square here with one of those sort of yeah, you see these quite a lot. Tell you what's going on. Don't know what this is all about though. Seems to be just fairly modern stuff. I don't know about modern developments going on. Oh, you can sure feel, now we're so far north here in Europe, start to feel that autumnal air. We're sort of circling around the outside of the old town at the moment, it would seem, and I've got no plans at all. I've not done any homework, but that's normal for me. Just wander about, have a little see what there is going on. As I say, it's quite low key today, quite quiet. Everyone just chilling out, having a drink or whatever. And I'll get into it a bit more tomorrow. What's through here? This looks interesting. Well, I do look forward to coming back tomorrow during a working day just to see how much busier it is here, but this is very cool and laid back. I like it a lot. Just come past the French ambassador's residence. I was kind of expecting Vilnius to be similar to, if not bigger than Riga, but I'll say the old town is about the same, but the city itself seems quite a bit smaller and certainly quieter. However, as I say, again, it is still a Sunday, so things may seem a bit different tomorrow. And of course it's kind of out of season really. October, it's not the peak of the tourist season. Not a whole heap of things open at the moment. A lot of the cafes or restaurants are advertising traditional Lithuanian food, which is not totally unsimilar to Polish food and Ukraine and food in general from this neck of the woods. Their own little take on it as a guided tour going round. Hot wine being advertised, or mulled wine as Brits would say. It's quite cold enough for mulled wine yet, but if you're sitting outside, I suppose, maybe, well, whatever you like. Not a big fan of that sort of thing myself, but there you go. I do like these little signs that appear from time to time. 16,829 kilometres from Sydney, Australia, and if you go in the opposite direction, 389 kilometres to London. That's from Rheims, not from here. I was going to say we're more than 386 kilometres from London, right where I'm stood now. That must be a champagne bar, I'm guessing. Is it Rheims? Rem? However they say it. I imagine during the peak summer months it's pretty busy along here, and these bars will be rocking and rolling. Oh, hello. Steady. Okay, so first impressions on Vilnius, absolutely great, lovely place. I'm looking forward to getting into it properly tomorrow and on the day after, for half the day at least, before I move on. That's it, that's me done for today. It's been a long travelling day and not really feeling the enthusiasm at the moment, so I'm going to go and grab some shopping on my way back past the Rimi Express. Which actually, once you get inside, was quite good. For some places that would be a hypermarket. So I don't need a full-size Remy, I don't think. Anyway, I'm going to grab some stuff there, go back, have a pit stop. May add a bit more tonight, pop out later on this evening. If not, catch you tomorrow. Cheers for now. And welcome back. It's now Tuesday morning, rather crisp. Started this video off, as you'll have already seen, on a Sunday afternoon, so I'll be interested to see how different Vilnius is on the morning of a working day. Just going past the market halls again here. I'll be popping there for my lunch later on before I head off to Riga. I've got a hour or so's gap between transportation and when I need to be out of my accommodation, so what a great place that is. I believe it's open today. The signs on the door seem to suggest otherwise, but looks like it's open already, so all good. I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to be visiting this morning. I'm taking a self guided route, walking route off one of my go-to bloggers, and but I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to get to all the places, but I'm just going to take a stroll through now to the furthest point on the walking route and just sort of amble my way back to the accommodation. Some nice smells wafting about as I go past the market halls here, and I think I'm going to try a Lithuanian lunch with the big dumplings, the big zeppelins, later on. I saw some people having them on Sunday afternoon. Hopefully they'll have those available today. I'm sure they will do. If not, it's McDonald's again round the corner by the railway station. I hope not. I presume that's a summer only thing. Magna's been, and looks like a few Lithuanian beers being sold outside during the summer months, presumably. Yes, it's already a lot busier, as I expected it would be, with traffic and people heading on into work. Nice mural on that building. What I think at least is the furthest point on this amble around Vilnius Old Town. It's 21 minutes from where my accommodation is, which it's advertised as an old town apartment, and it more or less is, pretty much, but on the other extremity, if you like. So that gives you sort of a guide from one side to the other. 21-minute walk. I might end up going a little bit further along than that, but this should take me right through the centre of the old town again, and then I'll wind my way back. Seems to be a nice park here that's under reconstruction or repair. It's all sort of fenced off at the moment. Don't really know why as such. Doesn't appear to be much needed to be done to it. Really tell autumn's setting in now with the trees all turning yellow. Quite a lot of leaves on the ground. You'll see this sort of stuff anywhere in the world. I always do wonder what these random words mean. I know they're just tags, someone's identification, if you like, but sometimes you get strange little sentences that don't mean anything. Even in English they don't mean anything. What I don't like is when people go to the trouble of doing a nice street art mural, whatever, and then people come along and tag all over it and make it look horrible. It's not really a problem with this one, I don't think. A little bit there at the end. Heaven knows what that is. It's a bit like a 4-year-old's come along with the spray paint, doesn't it? Lovely atmospheric old streets here. It's about 9 in the morning now, just maybe just before 9, and I thought I'll get out nice and early this morning. I've got to head off towards Riga. It's about 11, half 11. No, 12, half 12. So I need to pick my stuff up and, as I say, grab a bit of lunch back at the market halls. Thoroughly recommend it. It's not the cheapest place you'll come across, but the food in there was very good when I had some the other day. That's certainly looking like a nice looking hotel mansion, established 1677. So it's been there a while. Hotel VS Bootis. VS Bootis. I do like these. They do pop up all around the world, really. Little stands of photographs that you could probably quite easily find if you went to a museum. Oh, flooding there of various places. Obviously, this is Vilnius and Lithuania in general. Always stop to have a look at these photos, showing what life used to be like. So, rather resplendent in this river over there, by the way, rather resplendent in this nice park is what's described on Google Maps, at least, as the new arsenal of the National Museum of Lithuania, which is rather a grand name for it. On the front, I'm guessing that is just saying National Museum of Lithuania. I don't know where the arsenal bit comes in, but if I took time to study it, these bullet marks on the side, I don't know, or is the plaster just falling off a little bit? I'm guessing it's not open yet, and maybe it won't open at all today, I don't know, but oh, there you go, at the top it mentions Arsenal. So yeah, if you like museums, here's your place. Nice trolley bus over there. Onwards. Who's this guy here, by the way? A king or a duke or something. See if it says it in a language I understand. Once again, apologies to any Lithuanians that may well be listening to this nonsense. Next stop is the Gediminas Castle Tower. Again, not open, not surprising, it's first thing in the morning, so and it's a Tuesday, so perhaps some of these things don't open until later in the day or on not every day of the week. I did a vlog yesterday from the Geographical Centre of Europe, and while I could get to it to have a look at the monument, the visitor centre there, where you can get a certificate to say that you've been, and a cup of tea, was closed. I think it was shut on a Monday and a Tuesday, if I remember rightly, and I was the only one there. Just how I like it. I'm a bit antisocial anyway. Seems to be a kind of a funicular taking you up to the top there. I'm guessing that isn't open yet either. But but we'll have a see in a moment, or a kind of a lift thing. Yeah, it definitely calls it a funicular on the map. To head towards the palace of the Grand Dukes of Lithuania now. As you put these into Google Maps, they tell you they're closed, temporarily closed, or are open, and what time they're going to close. This mentions 10 o'clock. As I say, I'm out and about quite early. Wasn't intending to go into too many things today because time doesn't really permit that, so it's not an issue for me. But again, if you're interested in that sort of thing, then you can go in, but check the timings obviously. Back past the Arsenal, another good view of the castle tower. Sure, I can see somebody peering out at one of the windows there. It says it's closed, so maybe that's the cleaner having a crafty smoke. This is the Palace of the Grand Dukes of Lithuania. Again, another museum, opens at 10 o'clock during the week. No idea about the weekends. Looks like those, is it Easter Island? Is it Easter Island? Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? I keep wanting to say Galapagos, but that's big turtles or tortoises or whatever it is, isn't it? Whatever they're called. This will take us nicely into Cathedral Square, where I'm expecting to find a cathedral. I've been to some places where that's not necessarily a given, but I'm sure here in Lithuania, where things are quite sensible, there will be a cathedral. Maybe this is it to my right, actually. I see some tour buses already on the go over there. People have already been out, had a look around, getting back on it. And some tour groups. This is probably one of the meeting points for tour groups. I can see at least 2 on the go at the moment. Nice square as well, beautiful. I like Vilnius. I have to say, I still need to tick off Tallinn and Estonia. For one reason or another, that's not happened. Had to cancel a couple of times due to guess what, and 1 or 2 other things. There's the cathedral. Head off towards Gediminas Avenue, which has had some other names over the years, related to Stalin and Lenin and 1 or 2 others. This is the main street, if you like. It's a place host to all sorts of different institutions, governmental buildings, and shopping and dining options. So it's a sort of an all-in-one street. So I'm going to take a stroll along there. And after that, I'm going to head to something that I really wasn't expecting to find here in Vilnius. I don't know why I wasn't expecting to find it, but it is slightly unusual, and well, keep watching to find out what it is. I'll be interested to see it and do a little selfie next to it. though that will not be appearing on this video. And yeah, and I'll find out why it's here. Slightly breezy, sorry if it's making a noise on the microphone. The guy playing the violin there at the entrance. Lovely crisp day, great day for walking around. Don't like walking around when it's too hot. Just drains your energy. And there tends to be too many people about as well. I'm guessing this is Vilnius Avenue. Here is Vilnius Avenue as described. Tree lined, very straight, quite long, and cobbled. Although there seems to be the modern version of cobbles down there now that I'm sure make a lot less noise than the ones that were here before. But still kept with the idea of it being cobbled, kind of. Yeah, a few high-end shops along here as well, and a KFC, of course. Just went for a quick pit stop in this kind of a small shopping mall. Just advertises Lidl on the front, but there's a few other shops inside, including a Lidl obviously, and oh, Hesburger. I had one of those for a while. That's the sort of Scandinavian and Baltic version of McDonald's, as I recall. An awful lot better, but maybe my memory's failing me somewhat. Right, so there's a McDonald's, funnily enough, just up there. I've not actually seen a Hesburger, but I'm sure there's some here somewhere. Lots of fairly posh shops. Vilnius Cathedral. Right, I think we've seen enough of this fine boulevard. It's got everything you could ever need along here in one way or another. And head off to my next interesting and slightly unusual, and now I've just read up why, very interesting reason for the next item on the agenda. So I'm going to head off down this road here, off Gedimino Avenue. I know I'm destroying this fine language of Lithuania. I do apologise. To the next place, and I'll let you know all about it when we get there. So up a slightly nondescript side street, come across this statue, or the head of the one and only Frank Zappa. Why is Frank Zappa here, I hear you all ask? Was he Lithuanian or have Lithuanian heritage? No. Did he come here and do something interesting? No. Apparently he never came here. That statue was placed there by, I quote, a group of artists who wanted to test democracy in the newly independent Lithuania, and they did it by placing a statue of somebody that is a beacon of non-conformity and what should we say, anti-establishment views and attitudes. So there you go, Frank. Rest in peace, my son. You made some great records and you were a crazy guy. And here you are. I don't know if you ever knew this. I presume you that was put there before you passed away. But yeah, Frank Zappa, and it is signposted down there, so plenty must come, particularly probably Americans more so, and heavy metal fans from around the world like me. Right, where's next? It's not a crazy busy city, isn't Vilnius, you know, even on a work day today. Now, okay, it's getting on towards 10 o'clock now, but for a capital city, when you think what some can be like, this is the height of calm and tranquility. It's lovely, great place to walk around. And we're walking down there somewhere. So circling back into the old town area now, and I'm going to take a brief stop at St Catherine's Church. I've a funny feeling I've walked past this once already, and it's an impressive looking building, if I've got the right one, but we'll find out in a moment because it's just up here. Oh yeah, I have walked past this, probably not from this angle actually, just fell down a hole. That's great with the sun coming through from the other side. Appears to be a kind of a children's playground in here. I presume this isn't actually part of the church itself. A cafe. Yeah, no, it's not. And to remain on a religious note, we're going to head now towards the Dominican Church of the Holy Spirit, just round the corner as well. Probably been past that already also. Bit harder to get a good view of this particular church, as it's tightly packed down this street here. Apparently it opens at 1400. The door appears to be open there. And there's some explanation for you. Gothic church in 1408. I like the way the sign is just slightly offset from the actual church itself, but anyway, am I getting picky in my old age? Maybe. Incidentally, nightlife here is apparently quite legendary. I'm not really one for that, a bit old these days. But saying that, the other day, there was a football match I wanted to watch, so I just went to my usual Google Maps and put in sports bar, of which a fair few came up alongside ones that weren't sports bars, but there are a lot of them, but they are amazingly well hidden. I just randomly chose a couple to take a little wander about just to see if I like the look of them. And many I was kind of just through, not this isn't necessarily one here, but just through little doors that you don't really, you know, you could easily walk past, look inside and you'll see some people. Very often they're downstairs below ground level, and yeah, so don't be put off by that. Find out what it is that you're kind of looking for in a bar, whether it's music or TV with football matches on, etc. And you'll find something here that suits you. But yeah, they can. I did walk past a couple and thought, well, are they even open? And they were. One wasn't, but this was a Sunday evening. And I suppose not necessarily. Next on the agenda is the Presidential Palace. I was going to skip that actually because I'm starting to begin to run out of time, and it looked on the picture like it was going to be outside the city, miles away, but no, according to Google Maps, it's not far around this corner. Can't go in, obviously. I've not been invited to meet the president or anything like that, but maybe one day. I'll go and have a look anyway. Should be a wide expanse around this corner with a presidential palace. Somewhere. Looks like you can go in there. What's this saying? Open to the public 1800 to 2100 Monday to Friday, 11 to 2200 weekends and holidays. Visit the Centre for Civic Education, blah 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 blah. So you can go in, but not during the day, during the week. I guess other stuff's going on. Let's have a little cheeky picture. Look, they've even got a chess set on. Outdoor chess set. Maybe that's where the president goes to chill out on his lunch break. Let's go round to the front. One thing I am very, very impressed about, that Lithuania is still so supportive of Ukraine, with Ukrainian flags just about all over the place. Whenever you see a Lithuanian flag, i.e. there, quite often there is a Ukraine flag as well. And indeed, let's just take that back slightly, on the front of the presidential palace, there you go, even on the front of there. Well done. I'm going to head off to Pillies Street, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It just seems to be a nice old town, old-fashioned cobbled street with interesting shops and pop-up markets and that kind of thing. Whether there'll be any pop-up markets today, your guess is as good as mine, but we'll head there anyway, as I'll just sort of finish my slightly meandering wander around the old town, back to my accommodation, and off elsewhere. Such an atmospheric old town, and particularly so because it's not overly busy, certainly not at the moment, with tons of tourist tat shops knocking about and all that kind of tourist traps. Not too many of those. Most of the places you come to are just pretty much frequented by the locals, which is always a good sign of any place. Obviously you do have your marquee tourist resorts and places that prey on tourists with all the stuff, you know, and overpriced stuff. Doesn't seem to be the case here. Like with anything else, you can obviously pick and choose, use the internet to the best of its ability to give you some good tips of places to go. This is it. I've already been down here today. Lithuanian cuisine. Can smell it. Very nice. Right, I think this is where I'm going to end this vlog. I will put a link to the blog that I'm using to help guide me around. There's still quite a few places that I've not visited, but time has beaten me, unfortunately, today. I will be back to Vilnius at some point, and we'll have a look at some of the other stuff and post some vlogs on that. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button. Please also subscribe if you want to check out some of my other videos of walks and wanders around the UK, around Europe and further afield, and the yellow bell if you want to be notified of when new videos come out. So thank you for watching. Goodbye from this beautiful city of Vilnius here in Lithuania. Get here if you can, it's well worthy of a visit, and come and discover some of the stuff I've not shown you so far. Catch you in the next one. Cheers for now.